Mercedes have identified a significant worry about the W15's pace in China, and it seems like this one has the potential to knock them down the standings further. Following their slump in performance early season and showing their true colours at Shanghai regarding the car's peaky nature, the Silver Arrows do fear that there is going to be yet another replication of the Chinese GP's pace at Miami. But with Miami being a sprint race format alongside the team introducing massive upgrades to the car, can they neutralize their biggest weakness throughout the racing weekend? Mercedes did not impact the season as it would have liked to in 2024. The engineers back at Brackley hoped that the W15 would be the result of effective learnings following 2 failed projects. But the first 5 races of the season has confirmed that both the drivers and engineers are still dealing with a difficult car, which works intermittently and often is peaky, and when it does, it's not entirely clear why. If there is one thing that became crystal clear for Mercedes in Shanghai, is the fact that the W15 has no more performance to offer, and basically is a weak car. From the first 5 races, we have learned that the biggest concern of the W15 is not having solved the lack of stability, which is exactly the main deficit of its ground effect predecessors. The car is able to generate loads of downforce, but only in a very bleak operating window, which makes all that downforce unusable, breaking down the car's marginal setup window, in return making the W15 unpredictable at most instances. The W15 also presented an interesting new rear suspension, which was a solution which the team hoped would widen the car's operating window. However, from the enormous amounts of tests carried out by the team till now, the platform Mercedes has designed for 2024 still moves a lot. Jeddah proved the most crucial of details, as the tests carried out at Saudi Arabia revealed that the car still has a tendency to bounce around corners, very much unsettling the car. Also examining across race performances, we can clearly see that the Mercedes car has lost its edge on better tyre degradation, as the W15 has become sort of a butter shredder. To solve this problem primarily, the Silver Arrows are set to introduce upgrades to the W15. This could now be done in an easier manner compared to prior seasons, considering that the W15 does not restrict the Brackley technicians in terms of gearbox, chassis, or suspension structure. According to Formula Uno, the Brackley-based squads are going to focus solely on introducing new components to stabilize the car, to decrease the floor sensitivity and recover mechanical grip. Miami is the race which all Mercedes fans must pay special attention to, because the Silver Arrows will be working on introducing a new underfloor, alongside making changes to its central and side bodywork. Recalling properly, the team was unable to bring many upgrades they desired back in 2023, primarily down to the constraints the W14 had surrounding its structural platform, the compromised chassis design. But with the team making the needed ramifications for the W15, Mercedes now has the wiggle room to introduce aerodynamic upgrades to try and manipulate the W15's platform and aerodynamic balance. Mercedes introduced its first upgrades at Japan, in the form of a front wing revision which went unnoticed by many. The next fine improvement was made at China, in the form of an aerodynamic flick behind the halo to generate vortices, improving the car's rear end airflow. For Miami, the team will introduce aerodynamic parts surrounding the car's underfloor, revising the floor's top, bottom and edges to 1. Revise the load distribution around the underfloor, moving more load towards the car's rear, 2. Working around the floor's aerodynamic seal to decrease the bottom's sensitivity, thus improving stability and mechanical grip. The floor upgrade also will aid in improving the W15's ability to extract more performance out of its tyres, significantly improving tyre degradation. Focusing on the car's cooling performance, it's been quite questionable in 2024. The Mercedes duo suffered from cooling issues in certain races this season, Bahrain being the highlight, alongside certain reliability and quality control problems. But the team are persistent that the power unit is reliable and of top-notch quality, and the team with this positive note are planning on making improvements to the car's bodywork, central and side. At Miami, the Silver Arrows will be introducing a new sidepod design with a much more prominent undercut, moving the belly design to a much more generic philosophy across the grid in terms of aerodynamics. Mercedes will make the change to the W15 to increase the undercut region of the sidepods to utilize pressure differences to improve airflow towards the rear of the car. Overall, these upgrades at Miami are particularly aimed to enhance the W15's aeromechanical interaction, which has been lacking, and stabilize the aerodynamic performance of the W15 at various speed ranges. According to Formula Uno, one of the first developments the W15 will acquire is the inclusion of revised radiator inlets, coupled with a brand new underfloor. According to very reputable sources, this upgrade package is believed to produce 0.2 worth of lap time gain. But more importantly, the package is aimed at two crucial aspects. If we are to believe the statements coming out from Brackley, the team's priority within this upgrade is to verify proper correlation between the virtual world and the racetrack. This Mercedes engineer further added that the team now has changed its strategy to a see to believe approach amid recent struggles of getting good correlation. It's been 2.5 years since the car on the track doesn't match our simulations. We moved the parameters countless times, and most of the time they did not match the car walking on the track. Therefore, almost all of us enter the see to believe mode when it comes to upgrades like the one we are doing now. Outside of actually verifying the team's own methods, the Silver Arrows also hope these upgrades actually do add performance, stability for the most part. James Allison revealed this in the team's latest post-race debrief video, adding, "This is obviously the challenge we will face in the next races, trying to change both the setup of the car and the parts we bring to the car so that they can be improved. We have update packages coming for the machine, but also components that we hope will correct the underlying balance that is causing us difficulties." Moving into Miami, the more important question to answer is, are these developments in reality going to put Mercedes in a better position? The Brackley-based squad's game plan for 2024 was very much similar to that of Ferrari's. Build a solid foundation first, then work on adding performance. But since Bahrain, it's been evident that the so-called solid foundation has not been established, and the technical team of Mercedes led by James Allison is working hard on achieving that goal first. Within ground effect regulations, the most effective medium to have a stable, well-balanced car is to generate as much downforce as possible through the floor, to strengthen the rear of the car. While it is simple to say this, achieving said performance through the floor is a complex task. This is because the floor is subject to interference during yaw and pitch, movements affecting the floor stability. It is therefore a question of stabilizing the aerodynamic platform as much as possible to decrease the floor's sensitivity to interferences and offer the correct vertical thrust in all speed ranges of the car. Mercedes, with its Miami upgrades, are trying to do this exact thing, coupled with the W15's improved mechanical platform, thanks to the revised suspension and chassis layout. While one hiccup the team could potentially face at Miami will be correlation issues between CFD, wind tunnel and on-track performances, one big concern will be the sprint format bestowed upon the race weekend. Following the exploratory attempts during the Chinese sprints, Mercedes are certainly going to revise their tactics for this race weekend, confirmed by James Allison himself. We certainly learned during this weekend that you want to be ambitious in the sprint race and then adjust it for the main race rather than the other way around, and hopefully have a car in a better place. That the upgrades being made to Miami reward us in qualifying, which is very tight, in a few cents can make a difference, while a couple of tenths would make all the difference in the world. It remains to be seen exactly how well this upgrade package does perform at Miami, and for sure the Silver Arrows won't want to throw in a lot of variables into a complicated sprint weekend. The objective is clear for Mercedes: take the first step to leapfrog ahead of their customer teams in the pecking order, and hopefully close down the gap to Ferrari and Red Bull. Well, what do you guys think? Can Mercedes make the W15 better with the new floor and side pods at the upcoming Miami Grand Prix? We are very much into your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section down below. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads to keep yourselves up to date about the 2024 Formula 1 season.